be good. So, welcome
to Party Night, the worst podcast ever made.
Yeah, you got that right, my friend Stairmaster. My name is Elle. I'm here with my co-host Stairmaster, and I am motherfucking homosexual.
And I don't know what I'm doing here.
Awesome. Alright, so I only got... Shut up, you... Shut up!
Oh, baby. Did you know that cats are basically blind to anything within 6 feet of them? That's why they have whiskers.
Wait, within 6 feet of them?
Yes. Like, their eyesight is not very good at close ranges.
Wow, that's fucked.
I was told you should, like, wiggle your fingers in front of your cat so they know you're trying to pet them. Because otherwise they won't be able to tell what's up with their hand when you're in petting range.
I had no idea, honestly.
I tried it, and it worked a little bit well.
That's very interesting. Shit. Okay. Well, I have a little bit more empathy for my dumbass cat now.
Oh, yeah, poor baby. He doesn't know what's around him.
He can't fucking see.
Yeah, that's why cats will stare at you from afar, but not close up.
Makes sense. Yeah, so, party night.
Party night?
It's been
a while, because we're pieces of shit.
Yeah, but that's... you know what? I'm glad it's been a while. I'm glad because it just shows what our kind of commitment to this podcast is. It shows...
Absolutely none.
Yeah, it shows that the whole philosophy, and I've been saying this, I don't even necessarily like this term a lot, but the whole philosophy revolves around freeballing. It's all about going into something and not trying to make it the best thing ever because...
nothing is good in this crooked world.
Yeah, nothing is good in this crooked and corrupt world.
Every day I ask God why the guilty go unpunished. Then I realized He put me on this earth to punish them. Thus I became the Punisher.
Oh, I was gonna say, is that a Punisher quote?
Yes, that's like the opening monologue to the Dolph Lundgren one that I never saw.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And probably butchered. There's one boomer listening to this getting pissed off right now.
That's my favorite fucking movie, dude.
That's not the line! You didn't even do the accent!
I really gotta see that movie. Even though it's probably shit. I also really want to...
Oh, go on.
I also really want to see the 1990 Captain America movie.
Oh, baby, don't.
Because it's by Albert Pune. And no, I saw a clip from it. It looked awesome. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes at some point.
I think I've seen so much of that film just by angry internet reviews that I've basically seen the entire film for myself.
This movie is a whole load of crap. I would honestly rather eat 3 dragonflies at once while sticking my dick in a thresher on a farm than watch this movie again. Yeah, but I just watched Cyborg by Albert Pune. Actually, we'll get to that later, but that's how I realized that movie was by him. That's fucking crazy. But
no, it's bad. I'm telling you, it's not good.
No, I believe you. It's just I just have that autism brain thing where it's like,
oh yes,
I have to experience it all for myself because there's a good possibility that
there's a void.
It's not even stuff. It's not even anything so noble as like I might actually enjoy it. It's actually just the fact that there is a void, there is a gap in my knowledge, and I desperately have to fill it. Like, you got it absolutely perfect.
You ever think about how human knowledge is finite?
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that. Podcast ruined.
I tend to think of, when I think about human knowledge at, like on a grand scale, I just generally end up being kind of a glasses half full type person, because I think of it in terms of here's how much I know and here's how much humanity knows at large, and it's like, wow, I still have so much to learn.
Wow, I'm so glad I'm not a rock.
I'm so glad I'm not an animal, and instead I get to slave away every day at a soul-crushing fucking menial ass job.
Yeah, how's the computer touching going?
It's going all right. I mentioned this to you, but I'm getting a new manager. I was
don't think you mentioned this at all.
I was very eager to be rid of my previous manager, but that doesn't mean he's a bad guy. It just means that it's unbearable to have him as a manager. But the catch is that the person who's going to replace him is possibly
a black guy.
No, they're not a black man, and if they were, I wouldn't have any problem with that. The person who's going to replace him is possibly the only person who would be worse in that position.
Hitler.
Yeah. Adolf fucking Mussolini. But it's not. It's just. I mean, it's somebody who's already on my team, and they would be all right at being a manager, but they're super anal, and I feel like they don't really like me because they see me as like immature, and they kind of treat me like a teenager.
They think you're a brat who wants to be punished.
Yeah, they see me as a brat. I'm just I literally imagine that she sees me as like Bart Simpson in her mind.
Oh my god!
Like I'm like, don't have a cow, man.
You're like that grown-up Bart from that Toadfish cartoon, where he throws a brick at Homer.
Oh, is that the one where he's talking to Chris Griffin?
I don't know.
Or is that a different one? Oh, probably is a different one.
I just know that an Australian guy shows up and murders Rod and Todd, and then has sex with Marge, and Homer's like, "You're breaking my heart."
What the fuck? Yeah, I definitely have not seen that.
This was famous, turned in the 2010s animation.
It's
probably on Newgrounds.
I was thinking of the one where it was like, I think it was done earnestly, but I think I saw it like when I was back on Tumblr. It was like, it was like an adult Bart Simpson and an adult Chris Griffin talking to each other, and they were both they were both roommates and they were both burnouts. And
they both had PTSD.
Yeah, literally.
Seeing their fathers fall down a ravine.
No, it was like literally like. It was like the first part of it was like, it was like, yeah, my dad never hit me, but you know, he would just be so verbally abusive, and
wow,
I just didn't know what to do. So this is like
very solemn, I imagine. They're sitting on folding chairs in the black.
They're sitting on
spotlighted. They're
sitting on this like Beavis and Butthead couch or whatever, and then Bart is like, yeah, my old man would he would wrap his hands around my neck and he would throttle me, and you know, everything would be good after that. But man, that's
really?
fucked up.
It would be good after that.
And then it's like after those first couple panels, you're like, okay, I 100% see where this is going. Like,
are they gonna kiss?
No, I think they just like cried and hugged. I'll have to look it up again. I don't know.
Do you remember the Tiger Woods sex addiction saga when they made that commercial where his father was like, the ghost of his father was talking to him?
Yeah, that was fucking great. God.
Yeah, that's the same energy I get from this comic.
Yeah.
I don't know why though.
It's kind of like that, honestly. That was really fucked up, to be honest. Like, I hate, but at the same time, like, I don't
think he was actually a sex addict.
Well, I mean, whether or not he's a sex addict, he's like a piece of shit. But
is it because he plays golf?
Yes, no other reason. But not to tie this into you know, that one thing that everybody always talks about, but I feel like that was like a really amazingly like like a real pre-Trump media moment. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, that could not have happened today.
Yeah, like
that would have been like 10 seconds of news.
Yeah, exactly. That and like
maybe there'd be a meme where he's fucking the surreal meme man or something.
Yeah. And then it would just be gone forever after like a week. And also just like the fact that it's kind of like an old analog scandal. Like that could have happened in 1994 and 1984.
Yeah, but now in 2020, sex is mandatory.
Yeah, sex is mandatory.
But we're still not getting it.
But also illegal. And we're also not getting it.
Yes, and my dick gets stuck in a ketchup bottle. And I can't get soft because the blood flow is cut off.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
Go to the hospital immediately.
Yeah, that was a funny post. I mean, it was funny.
A funny post from like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was funny to everybody except for the person that it happened to. I'm glad that...
I hope he had a laugh about it afterwards, unless he had to cut his dick off.
I mean, he probably got some clout off of it. Like, let's be honest. And honestly, you kind of deserve it.
Well, how are they going to know it's him? Unless he posts pictures of his dick on the internet with the bottle around it.
Well, he didn't post pictures of his dick, but he posted pictures like while it was happening. And then like I don't even like I literally just saw
the bottom of the barrel bottle sticking out of frame.
It's like that one Death Grips album cover, but
Death Grips album?
But with a fucking bottle of ketchup. So yeah.
Oh, that would be a great Tiger Woods fucking the surreal meme man would be a great Death Grips cover. Or a Viper cover. Either one.
Oh yeah, that's more Viper flavored, but you know, I could see it going.
Did you listen to his They All Hate Me Because I'm Vaporwave?
No, but I know of it.
Yeah, I keep screaming at you to do that. And
you played it in the voice chat once, but there's
I'll just sell the premise for anyone not aware. Imagine Viper, but he has actual producers backing him up. It's the most amazing thing ever.
There's like legitimately a bunch of Viper that I want to get to, but I just keep forgetting to, and like he has fucking 200 albums.
No, not that. That's way too few. I'm pretty sure like in 2014 he released 400 albums alone.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So, you want to talk about movies? Movies are a thing that we talk about on this podcast, even though it's not...
Sometimes substance abuse, sometimes the news. Hey, California's on fire, and it's 120 degrees.
That is true. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not saying like it's unimportant or anything. It's just literally when I receive the information, it's like I have no idea what to do with it. You know what I mean?
There is nothing you can do with it. We just have to wait to die.
I mean, yeah. That's why you're the doomer, Stair, is because you consume the news that you can't even do anything with. I've
just got this something awful civil unrest and the climate change and the impending economic meltdown thread, all of my bookmarks, and I browse them every day.
Oh my god. Well,
there's people in the economics one that say they can't go to the other threads because it gives them suicidal ideation. And you know what? They're probably right.
Jesus.
Also, the Democrats being impotent thread. That's a good one on something awful.
That one would probably like raise my blood pressure.
Oh yeah, that's the angry. That's the one I go to when I want to be angry.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not.
Yeah, they're still doing that veteran bullshit.
Veteran bullshit.
I think Trump called John McCain gay or something.
Oh, yeah. I just saw the headlines about that.
And then Howard Dean was like how based it was. His brother was executed in Vietnam.
Oh yeah.
In 1975.
Yeah, when he wasn't even like a regular troop, he was like a fucking government spook.
Yeah, what do you have to do to get executed by the Vietnamese that late in the game?
Yeah.
After the war has ended.
Exactly. Oh, fuck.
Does that mean his campaign was an op?
I mean, that's what I saw people saying.
Oh, yeah.
But... Or wait, no. No, you meant
There's
Howard
also
Dean.
people... There's also people speculating that Kyle Rittenhouse was an op.
Oh,
I'm of the opinion he's just a crazy, violence-addicted white guy.
Yeah, I mean,
like
honestly,
every American.
I could see it going either way because you do not need to be a fucking op to, like, fit his profile at all. Like, his is a very, like...
He's basically me, but with, like, 10 less IQ points. If I had taken up weed or booze earlier than I did in my life, I'd probably have ended up like him.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how...
Maybe if I hadn't actually washed out of the Navy and spent the full 4 years, I'd end up that guy.
It's kind of funny how so few IQ points can account for a radical shift from the far left to the far right.
Well, to be fair, my IQ is only 20.
And IQ is an antiquated and racist system for describing intelligence, or so I'm told. I'm not an IQ historian.
I wish I knew some examples of funny IQ, problematic IQ test questions.
Yeah. They always tell us it's problematic, but I gotta see it for myself. I gotta see how racist this test really is.
It's like the opening of Deep Cover. What's the difference between a black man and a...
Oh my god.
That's why I think it's so low on the IQ test.
That's why...
That one question's weighted for 75% of the score.
Yeah, it's like... Fuck. That's literally why I'm like so hesitant to like tell people that's one of my favorite movies, is because like if they watch it, that's like one of the first things they see. It's like this fucking scene.
Is that the guy from The Irishman? The guys with the ears? Who does the Bay of Pigs invasion?
Oh, the like...
The guy who claims to be God?
Oh, yeah. I'm God. I'm God. Larry Fishburne, look at me. I'm God. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, he was... It's funny, he was in, like, a lot of shit. He's just one of those guys who it's like, you just see him as a supporting character and you're like, oh, that fucking fugly-looking guy. But I just saw him in something, but I can't remember what.
I thought one of the gangsters in Deep Cover was Danny DeVito for a second.
But yeah, we should get into movies.
So I rented for $4 the 1999 made-for-TV movie Final Run. It's Robert Urich. For some reason, yes, in 1999 there were just 2 separate films about trains going out of control and threatening people's lives.
Yeah, once again, it's like before 9/11 that like people did not know how to conceive of what a...
They could only see the threat coming from within.
Yeah, they didn't know how to conceive of like a true disaster. They thought of, you know, trains running wild and tornadoes. They thought of these things that were blameless crimes. Little did they know.
You can't blame the train. In fact, you got to hand it to the train.
Yeah, I mean, it did its job too well. You could say that about, you know, both fictional trains in those movies.
Well, the one in Atomic Train did not. Neither of them got to their destination.
True.
And the one in Atomic Train, that was a lot of freight that was destroyed. The iosocetine barrels were destroyed. The log cabin was destroyed.
The Windows 98 computer was destroyed.
The black FEMA man was destroyed.
Oh my god.
rude death that was.
Yeah, that was a really bad fucking death.
Anyways, Final Run is nowhere near as good as Atomic Train.
Yeah.
It's also got the, the main guy is remarried to a new wife, but his son doesn't like her because his previous mom died in the last film when the computer plane went out of control.
Jeez.
I still haven't seen that one. And the film opens with him, like, stealing his dad's luge, his little street racer, and going down the hill and crashing it. This is, of course, foreshadowing for how they defeat the train at the end.
Very clever foreshadowing. Chekhov's luge, they call it.
And then there's his friend from the train company, who was also the guy from the plane company.
Oh, my God.
Who got them tickets.
I hate this shit.
This is like the second film to a this made-for-TV film series. I don't know how they could get away with this level of corniness. And then there's a guy there's a waiter in the dining car who's his former Major League Football player who whiffed a touchdown on TV or something. Like he was trying to kick a goal kick and he missed the ball or something. I guess he probably fell on his back like Charlie Brown or something. And so he just got he has this redemption arc at the end.
Oh, nice.
And then there's the schlubby train driver. He kind of looks like fuck, I don't know how to describe him. Let me see if he has a Wikipedia article.
Alright, so we got Final Run. Motherfucking...
I don't even remember what his name is. So I can't fucking...
Damn, epic.
Guess we're fucked. Yeah, he causes a train to go out of control by spilling his drink on microchips that are just exposed to the open air. He tries to correct this by taking the chips out, the motherboards out, and wiping them down with a paper towel.
Nice.
And for some reason, this causes a train to accelerate instead of coming to a stop.
As one does, honestly.
So they have to call in the train scientist, played by Udo Kier, this German guy.
Oh, Udo Kier.
Yes.
If you need to get a fucking German guy in your movie, he's the number one guy.
The train is incredibly powerful.
The train is too powerful.
So yeah, he goes out to mess with the fuse boxes and just gets electrocuted and falls off the train and dies.
Holy shit.
Oh, the train driver, not Udo Kier.
Oh.
And then the guy's at the control center because... Did I mention there's a control center for this computer train?
Well, there has to be.
And that's why, it's for the German scientists to show up. And so when the train goes out of control, there's like a sudden hitch and acceleration which injures several people. Some people fall down the stairs and bang their heads. And this one fat guy has a heart attack. Also, there's a congressman on board to see if the train is going to get subsidies or not. Wow. So there's this lady trying to constantly appease him, but also has to measure that against the importance of stopping the train from killing everyone. A classic dilemma.
Well, see, this is precisely why you invest more in trains, so that this kind of thing never happens.
So yeah, they try to just cut the power of the train, but all the fuses have melted together. so they cut fuel to the diesel generator, but the turbines are still going to be spinning for like 15 minutes.
Oh, that's
fucked. And by that time, they'll be going downhill.
Oh, God.
So Robert Urich and the football guy have to decouple the train. And they're trying to pull it when they get on a stretch of flat ground. There's a lot of train physics in this compared to Atomic Train.
Nice.
Like, they explain that you can't decouple it while it's on a grade because it'll either be slacked or compressed.
Oh.
So they try to decouple it, and Robert Urich falls off, and despite being 50 years old, does not explode on impact into a cloud of bone and blood. And
that would be so fucking hilarious. Like he just falls off, and then they just overlay like a GIF of a fucking explosion.
Yeah, it's like a Keiko
like a
Demon
YouTube
Death
poop.
Sprite. So yeah, he's off the train now. So we have another 10-minute subplot where they call in another friend from the first film, helicopter guy.
Helicopter man.
Yes, and Robert Urich spends like the next 10 minutes trying to figure out how to scale around this hill and get back on the train. And he climbs on top of this tunnel and jumps on the train as it's going through.
Oh shit.
So it's like Jackie Chan, but, you know.
Yeah, like James Bond
at
shit.
at 0.2 speed. Since this is a 50-year-old man on a TV budget.
Sounds
and so in the end, they just decide to have the helicopter guy like tether to the back of the train and blow up the couplings with dynamite high explosives.
Honestly, that's kind of a cool idea. Like,
yeah, and this is where the football guy redeems himself by catching the rope.
Good job.
The train. Also, the train is going to derail and hit a hospital full of hundreds of people.
Oh shit.
And there's a part where the German guy, like, we must divert them to the quarry. They're like, no, you'll kill 200 people!
I mean, honestly,
So, yeah.
I'm not seeing the problem with this movie. It sounds pretty based. It sounds pretty fucking exciting.
I don't know. Atomic Train is cool, though. It's, like, over the top. It has ambition. Well, this is clearly...
Yeah.
Well, Final Run is clearly stuck within the confines of the television medium.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like, if there's one, like, if you would have just shown me Atomic Train, not like without the knowledge that it was a TV movie, I might not have guessed that it was.
You might have believed it was an independent film or something.
Yeah, like some
made
weird,
by Megalomaniac.
basically like a direct-to-video type
like
thing.
a smarter Tommy Wiseau.
And because
Tommy was, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like it like is genuinely ambitious. They do so much shit in there that they don't have to do, and like it's just such a long, painful gauntlet of just torturous scenes. Like not in like a boring way, but like in like a holy shit, these people are experiencing hell kind of way.
Yes, they don't deserve this. Meanwhile, Final Run's a happy ending. The train gets blown up when it goes into the ravine because Robert Urich left dynamite in there for some reason.
Nice.
I guess not to pollute the gorge it was plummeting into. Or maybe he was afraid it would keep going, even off the rails.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even mention how he was trying to hype his son up, talking about how diesel punk it would be. There'd be gears, throttles, gauges.
All that kind of shit you love, son.
And then he's really pissed off when he finds out it's a diesel electric train.
Oh, yeah.
With the computerized, yes.
Yeah, that's kind of like a Hank Hill thing. That's like...
Also, his wife isn't that hot.
Oh.
As opposed to the Sex and the City lady.
Downgrade.
There is like a token blonde lady who's like the football guy's love interest, but I don't think they even kiss. I think they just hug at the end.
That's pretty gay.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe you know who the German guy is.
Well, yeah, he's pretty well known. He's like...
Do you know him because he's gay?
No. Actually, funny enough, like... I had seen him in stuff beforehand, but the reason I know who he is because of the movie My Own Private Idaho.
I just scrolled to that on his filmography.
Yeah, with Keanu Reeves and River Phoenix.
What?
Because that movie was so like weird, and he was such a weird guy in that movie. Like, I was like,
loosely based on Shakespeare's Henry IV.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make you watch that movie, but you should probably watch it at some point, just because like, actually, I need to rewatch it at some point. Like,
wow,
it didn't like blow me away, but it was really kind of interesting, I guess. But yeah.
Unlike Final Run.
Yes, unlike the boring Final Run.
So what did you see? I guess we'll alternate.
Well, I saw Natural Born Killers, The Return of Godzilla, Cyborg, Lionheart, and Horse Girl.
I was feeling guilty for wanting to talk about 2 additional movies, but I see you have no shame.
Natural Born Killers. What a movie. What a film. What a motherfucking film. I was honestly probably like... The score I gave this movie was probably set in stone just from the first 5 minutes alone. So basically, I didn't even know the origins of this movie until like...
I made it.
Yeah, Stair made it on like a Coke binge. That's why it looks the way it does.
Yeah, I got it from Robert Downey Jr.
yeah, who is great in this movie, by the way.
Wow, Tommy Lee Jones?
He is also great in that movie. He is playing the type of role that he needs to be playing in like every movie, but instead he just gets misused. But Natural Born Killers, Quentin Tarantino has story credit, directed by Oliver Stone, partially written by Oliver Stone and some other people. This movie is like making me into an Oliver Stone fan. Like I had seen a couple of his movies before, and they were like honestly really compelling, but I was always kind of like a bit skeptical. I just kind of saw him as like this weird, self-obsessed, bleeding heart liberal guy, which he pretty much is. But like,
yes,
this movie, Natural Born Killers, is fucking like so great on so many levels. Like, the way that it's shot is like this incredibly impressionistic. Like they shot on every format possible just to get all these different effects, and like this crazy editing, like that just cuts between each format rapidly to show you a different thing. I was telling Yui, because we were watching it together, I was like, this is just like a fucking Alice in Chains music video. It's so 90s in that way. But I just want to talk about this one part of the movie in particular, and I don't want to spoil anything too hard, because I think basically anybody listening to this who has not seen it, like, you really should go see it. If you're into...
So Tommy Lee Jones is in a bathhouse, and some guys come to stab him.
He just got his Russian mafia tattoos. No, so essentially, Juliette Lewis and Woody Harrelson, they're basically playing the Joker and Harley Quinn. But
wow.
They show this kind of flashback thing, and it's a flashback to how Woody met Juliette. Basically, like, you know, it kind of is a way of showing her home life and stuff, but it's framed in this totally amazing cartoonish like sitcom that's kind of like Married with Children or like All in the Family and stuff. And her dad is played by fucking Rodney Dangerfield, and like he almost steals the entire movie in those like few scenes. He's so fucking good. Basically what happens is they're depicting this super cartoonish kind of sitcom thing, and the actual dialogue is the dialogue that might take place in a very rough, abusive household where the father is a monster.
Oh my god.
But everything is framed like it's a joke, and it's complete with canned laughter and everything, and it's so fucking like funny and uncomfortable. And the reason that I'm highlighting this is because previously, like, the scene so perfectly encapsulates certain things that I thought only existed in my head, like just the way that like you can have this juxtaposition between these two things, and he perfectly...
This dialectic.
Yes, he perfectly expresses it. And the last person in the world I expected to direct a scene like that was Oliver Stone as well, and I'm like, holy shit, like he gets it a lot more than I thought he did.
You're wasting your talent!
Yeah, you're wasting your talent being a fucking lib when you could go off and do all this cynical-ass 90s
yes.
shit.
Why don't you share your wisdom with humanity then?
Yeah, exactly. Your fucking soul is being weighed down by gravity of Earth. But anyway, it's kind of a black comedy, very kind of dark but funny and uncomfortable and just fucking surreal above all else. I fucking gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's really, really good.
I also saw a movie I gave that rating to. Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt.
Whoa.
December Sky.
December Sky.
I want to say I'm glad this movie's a tight 69 minutes. There's almost no traditional anime Greek choir bullshit.
Nice.
The finale is just two guys trying to kill themselves. There's hardly any dialogue between them because they're too busy trying not to pass out from the intense G-force.
That's fucking sick.
And it's just like, here's a space war. This guy's an asshole, and this guy's slowly losing parts of himself as this battle goes on.
That's kind of awesome.
And here's some cool country music and jazz.
You were telling...
And now the robots are fighting. And then also here's the fandom, as represented as a bunch of hapless child soldiers who die within seconds of the battle starting. Yeah, it's basically like, you know how Charge Counterattack was breaking Gundam down to its bare essentials? I think Thunderbolt also does that.
Yeah.
In its own way.
Yeah, you were telling me about it, and then I went and immediately torrented it, and...
Yeah, the difference is that it doesn't have Tomino's insecurity, so it's just like, yeah, look at this shit.
Yeah, here's just the shit on display.
Just get it. Why don't you get it, you stupid pig?
You stupid bitch. You stupid motherfucking...
And also the Gundam is cool.
That's one of the key ingredients. Yeah, I still have to see it, but it's high.
Do it!
It's very high on my list, so...
And there's also a sequel, but there's a bit too much plot in that one.
Too much plot.
Yeah. And it's also, like, connective tissue for, like, stuff that still hasn't been animated yet.
Sweetness.
Yeah, so, yeah. 9 out of 5.
9 out of 5.
Also, I watched that movie the first time completely stoned, so just, like...
Nice.
I was just kind of on the edge of my seat, terrified.
Oh, God.
I was kind of having trouble telling what was going on chronologically.
The
film ends with a montage, which completely fried my brain at that point, because I was doing 100 milligrams of edible.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So...
As an aside, speaking of my brain breaking, I've also been getting into VTubers a lot lately.
Oh, yeah.
And that's been making me question my reality when I'm high.
Yeah, both me and Stair have been getting into VTubers, and...
Well, I've been getting into it and just shoving them clips down.
Well, yes, but I got into them kind of at the same time, and I already had another friend who was into them, but I hadn't, like, invested the time.
Brad.
What? Oh,
Brad.
No, not Brad.
No, he was a very early adopter.
Oh, I believe it, but...
Because he's a degenerate.
I wouldn't say I'm friends with Brad. He's a...
I don't think Brad has any friends.
Oh.
Just allies at convenience.
That makes me feel a little bit guilty now.
Oh!
But he's a nasty boy, so I shouldn't feel too guilty.
He's sort of like a real-life Char. If Char decided to do shit posting instead of war, that would be Brad.
That's a bit debatable, but... Return of Godzilla was the next movie that I watched, and...
What if Godzilla was Vaporwave?
Yes. And it was the movie that Stair gave me as homework to watch for this week. It is a good movie. It is... To be perfectly honest with you, it is the first full Godzilla movie I have ever watched in my life. I might have watched an earlier one.
You fucking homo.
Yeah, I know.
You haven't seen Shin Godzilla?
No.
Oh, you idiot.
Okay. Yeah, my friend went to see Shin Godzilla when it came out, and then I was like...
Yeah, and you were too busy in the movie theater bathroom having gay sex.
Yep.
To see it.
That's what happened. But yeah, the main things...
You're like, hey, there's something in my popcorn. Wink.
What the fuck?
Do you think anyone's ever actually done that?
Like drugged somebody with popcorn?
No, I meant put their dick in popcorn.
Probably.
What, you thought that was... Wow.
It would probably burn your fucking...
I was trying to be wholesome here.
Probably burn your dick. You putting your dick in popcorn and fucking sexually assaulting somebody with it as being wholesome? Yeah, that's one big gamble.
Well, it is a gamble, but I mean, if it pays off, the person does want to see your dick, so it's not sexual assault. It's only probably sexual assault.
I'm not even gonna touch this one.
Time complicates all things.
Yeah. So anyway, now that you made it clear that you hate me for not being familiar with Godzilla.
Oh, come here, baby. Come here.
Basically, so very nice aesthetics. Very nice soundtrack. Now, I'm not usually into like all orchestral soundtracks unless they sound a specific way, but something about the soundtrack was very like, it was extremely professionally done. I don't know, it felt very polished, and like there's a lot of really good dynamics. You know, you felt like the orchestra playing it was like legitimately really good, which is not the impression that you always get when you're just listening to some orchestral soundtrack.
I get the impression they pulled out a lot of stops because this was the first Godzilla in like a decade.
Yeah, that's the impression I got as well. The other thing I noticed was it was a lot like Evangelion. It's just,
really?
Word. Many shots in the movie looked like fucking city pop albums because it was 1984, and I don't know, like they had this shot of like this man and woman walking through the city, and just this constant like skyscrapers in the background, and it was just so fucking aesthetic, dude. It was so fucking aesthetic.
And the shots of Godzilla like being shadowed by these massive skyscrapers.
Yeah,
that is definitely a visual thing you see in Evangelion.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, the you could kind of tell what shots were like miniatures and stuff, but they overall they did a really good job. You know, especially like I can see if you were watching this like back in the day or on like a lower quality transfer or something, like you would not be able, you would not be able to tell as easily.
My parents are still blown away by it.
But yeah, it was very, it had a lot of personality. It was very kind of like fun and good, and just the acting wasn't the greatest, but that was part of the charm. Like there's.
What, you didn't like those Russian nuclear submarines?
I loved it. I thought that was some of the best shit in the movie. Was like they have these Soviet sailors and stuff, and actually one of my.
They're speaking Russian, and you're just like, yes!
One of my favorite parts is when... One of my favorite parts is when they're in negotiations, the ambassador to... or whatever, the representative...
Yes, NATO and the Warsaw Pact have to have a negotiation because Godzilla's sunk a nuclear submarine. Yeah. And World War III is about to break out.
And you can tell that the Russian guy and the American guy are like... Their acting is atrocious, and it makes the scene so funny because it's also really funny because like the Japanese guy is portrayed as like the wise stoic guy, and the Soviet and American guys are portrayed as just war hawks, which is like not necessarily wrong or anything, but the way that they're acting is really funny. Like, and
yes, but the Russian guy also gets a redemption arc, a failed redemption arc. Where he tries to save the day and eats shit.
Oh, true. But basically, like, it's extra funny because, like, in a very short span of time, like, they have the Russian guy saying, like, we need to nuke Godzilla now. We need to unleash the nukes on Godzilla. And basically the American guy is just saying, he's right, It's just like it's like the only guy speaking English in the whole thing, and it's so funny because they're basically showing like in a very visceral manner, like, look at how crazy this crisis is, that even at the height of the Cold War, the Soviets and Americans totally agree that we need to nuke this fucking Godzilla. And but because of Japan's history with the nuke, they do not take this decision lightly, and that's portrayed very well here. Yeah, it's fun. I really, one of the things I really like is that there's this character, this guy, who is basically running through the rubble, and like he's trying to live the high life.
Oh yes.
Also,
Yes.
AKA Stairmaster.
Me.
This character is Stairmaster. He's basically he's like taking advantage of the emergency situation. He's like, well, I was a bum before, but now I can live like a king. You know, now that there's nobody around, I can just go to this fancy restaurant, pour myself some champagne.
Yeah, that's my game plan.
It's just a very funny character.
He has to flee from Godzilla at several points.
Yes. 3.5 out of 5. Tune in.
Excuse me?
That's my. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Tune In's trademarked by the podcast Who Shall Not Be Named.
Yes.
But yeah,
That garbage pile.
that was Return of Godzilla.
No, it's Godzilla Returns.
Well,
I can't
yeah,
remember. One of the there's like a 1985 one. The American release had like 20 minutes of added footage with the American actor from the
yeah, that's fucking stupid.
King of Monsters. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck white people.
Yeah, quit colonizing my hentai and dinosaur movies.
Wait. Expand on that first part.
No, go on. Talk about movies.
Well, Al doesn't want to talk about the hentai she saw today, so we'll talk about Deep Cover from 1992.
Deep fucking Cover. Oh, yes. Fucking intro song. Oh, my God.
And they got Dr. Dre to do the closing, the theme song.
Oh, I love that. This is one of my favorite movies ever. I made Stair watch it.
How did I not hear about this film before?
I know. It's like a hidden gem. It's like fucking. Oh.
It's like yes. I feel like and this film seems like it's very helped by watching it in 2020.
Oh yeah.
The arc, the character arc that Lawrence Fishburne goes through. It's estrangement and alienation from the system, and the
I feel like this movie and like Strange Days are fantastic.
And also Charge Counterattack.
No. Just kidding.
Fuck you. It's
no, but like as far as like American crime movies that deal with like race and technology and shit, like Deep Cover and Strange Days are like, if you watch those in 2020, you might have your mind blown. But
oh yeah, it's funny though, because watching this I did think, hey, did a white guy write this? Because
I think it
like the depiction of Lawrence Fishburne's dad.
Well, it was directed by Bill Duke too.
Guy who died in Predator.
I think it was based on a book by a black guy, but I'll have to double check that.
Did Bill Duke direct any movies after this?
I think he directed a couple.
How did he not? This should have been like his breakaway hit.
Yeah, it really should have been.
Oh, he directed Action Jackson as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Interesting.
Oh, wait, no, he had an acting role. I can't read. Never mind.
Idiot. Oh, yeah, he directed a bunch of movies, actually.
He directed The Killing Floor.
Rage in Harlem's.
My favorite video game.
Cemetery Club, Sister Act 2.
What? Back in the Habit.
I'm not gonna lie, I have not seen any of these except for Deep Cover. He also directed Cover from 2007.
Oh no.
I don't know what this is about, but I just think it's funny that he directed both Deep Cover and then Cover.
Plot synopsis: a woman accused could either be a killer or a victim in the psychological drama from Bill Duke.
Lou Gossett Jr.
Valerie Mass, Anajuna Ellis, is a God-fearing housewife and artist who one day finds herself in a situation she never imagined imaged possible. Nice job, Wikipedia. Fucking idiots. Being questioned on a murder charges by no-nonsense police detective Hicks, Lou Gossett Jr., and Simmons Clifton Davis, a district attorney eager to close his case.
Lou Gossett Jr.
No whatever.
All right. Tell us about Deep Cover. We're getting long in the tooth here.
Very interesting directorial style. Bill Duke likes to do these cuts where the camera's still focused at the same thing, but it's now suddenly zoomed in a little bit.
There's some definite interesting directorial choices.
Yes. This is definitely a film about capitalism.
Yeah. And race, obviously.
Like, Jeff Goldblum has a very brief monologue at the end when he's trying to negotiate with the not Colombian drug lord, fake Colombia, where he's like, white, black, Hispanic, that doesn't matter anymore. There's only rich people and white people, baby. Hey, L, what's the craziest sexual thing you've ever performed?
Oh, well, I sucked on some toes once.
Ooh, I can only imagine the pleasure of having another person's foot in my mouth.
Fucking, man, everybody...
I was not prepared for Jeff Goldblum, even though I knew he was in the
Jeff
film.
Goldblum, like, he fucking brings it in this movie. He basically like debases himself in this movie to like bring us the performance that he does. Like my perception of him is forever stained because of this movie, because he does such a good job at being just a shithead.
Yeah. And also, this is like a film where the narration actually works. You have Lawrence Fishburne doing the Blade Runner monologues from scene to scene.
That was actually how I found out about this movie, because, fun fact, one of the lines in it was sampled by the electronic duo Future Sound of London, where Lawrence Fishburne says, "I had killed a man who looked like me, whose mother and father looked like my mother and father." And I was like, that is the fucking hardest line I've ever heard. Where did that come from? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how that guy peed on him. Was that right? Do you think that was...
Oh, yeah, that's...
What?
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
remember?
I was just trying... Like, I was trying to bring that memory up in my mind, like, random access memory.
Yeah, you had the dial-up noises going in your brain.
But yeah,
yeah, that film is quite a journey, I would say.
Yeah, I love it's kind of like, in a weird way,
he has to work his way up the criminal ladder.
It's in a weird way, it's kind of like a dark, like, Point Break for me. It's like dark Point Break.
Yes, it is. It literally has a scene from Fast and Furious, famous Point Blank plagiarist film, where he has to call in the police for the dying guy. Oh, yeah. And his crime partner finds out, yes.
I remember that.
Do you think Fast and Furious ripped that off? Like, they saw Deep Cover and they're like, let's put this in our film.
Maybe. But, I don't know. Probably not, because Deep Cover be underrated AF.
The first guy that Lawrence Fishburne's character gets hooked up with in the crime world, Eddie's kind of interesting too. Was he on the spectrum, or was he just coked up and kind of queer? I can't tell.
He was like, coked up. That was his main problem, and he just had a big ass mouth. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those cases where, the coke just makes him into an amplified version of his normal self.
Yeah, I wish I had cocaine. No, I don't think anyone would want to talk to me if I was on cocaine. I mean, you're already struggling as is right now.
True enough.
And then we got two intermediaries. I can't remember the name. Felix and Barbados.
Yeah. Wasn't that like his first and last name? I can't.
Felix, maybe. Yeah, Felix is like kind of interesting. Kind of interesting how the film just throws him away halfway through. Jeff Goldblum unceremoniously kills him. Oh yeah, Jeff Goldblum has a body count in this film.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Not kinda.
Well, fuck, I don't.
He kills multiple people.
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
He kills at least 3 people in
Yeah,
that film.
because it's not a high body count movie, but like, if you get a body count in that movie, then you're, then it's.
Well, it's Jeff Goldblum killing people, so yeah.
But
one thing I didn't really vibe with was the romance.
Yeah.
With the woman who's like, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah. It's interesting. I kind of took it as like a different.
My blood count is 20% value.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of took.
That's how it was in the early 90s.
I kind of took it as like just a different take on a romance. That's kind of what I like about the movie in general, though, is like I feel like it's a different take on a crime thriller.
Oh.
It's.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be.
Oh yeah,
that much. It seems like Lawrence Fishburne was getting way more out of it.
Yeah, like that love plot happens when he's like starting to kind of lose his grip on the he's kind of starting to lose the plot, so to speak.
And we already talked about how the movie opens up with Megatown racism.
Yeah. But what was your rating? What did you think of it all?
I think I also gave that a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm honestly like so stoked that I'm just like I'm basically fucking knocking it out of the park so far in terms of like recommending new movies for this podcast.
Yeah, Al's just like
I'm God.
I'm God. There's nothing I can do wrong.
I realized while we were talking about this what other movie I saw that guy in. The asshole guy with the big ears. He was the N-word guy. He was in the movie The Hot Spot, directed by Dennis Hopper, and starring Don Johnson. Which wasn't. I think I actually talked about it on this pod before, but what wasn't the greatest movie, but definitely interesting.
Oh yeah, you did. I think you did talk
definitely
about
interesting,
this.
But yeah, he's one of the guys in that.
Can't believe Dennis Hopper directed a
film. Oh yeah, faux show. Yeah, just to make it kind of quick.
Yes.
There were other movies I watched in this time period,
and they were all good.
I watched Cyborg, Lionheart, and Horse Girl. Horse Girl, I watched earlier today.
Yeah. I'm very concerned about that.
Well, I don't know. You might be surprised. Cyborg. I'm trying to watch through the Van Damme movies. Cyborg, Albert Pune, Van Damme. Solid. I don't know. Maybe 4 out of 5.
He does
do the splits. Of course. He does not do the splits in Lionheart. Lionheart has. It has all the elements in it. It has everything going for it. It just, lacked that magic spark. Lionheart is about Van Damme is a French legionnaire in northern Africa. He finds out that his brother died by being brutally lit on fire because he was into drug business.
I thought I was going to find out he's a descendant of Lionheart. Crusading king.
No, that'd be crazy.
That would have been cool. And then he has to fight the Illuminati with high kicks.
Stop writing a movie that I want to see. So he finds all this out like way too late because like they're withholding his letters and phone calls from him because they're just weird. They're weirdly assholes, and his commanding officers.
Oh, no. The French Foreign Legion is awful. Like, there's a not insignificant chance if you joined, you'd probably get raped as part of some sort of hazing ritual.
Yeah, so this movie was not much of an exaggeration, I'm guessing then. But he basically has to escape he becomes a deserter from the French Legion. He has to escape in a action sequence, and long story short, he basically takes a boat to America. He's trying to get to L.A., but he goes up on deck and he looks out and he sees the Twin Towers. so he's like, "What the fuck, man?" And he basically just jumps out and swims to shore.
And kicks the towers over.
Yeah. It's like, "What the fuck, man? Why are they still standing?" It's kind of funny because, like, in those first scenes, like, it feels like it's setting itself up to be like a Coming to America type tale, like, because it shows him in kind of this. It shows him in this kind of like timeless framing where he's like walking through the streets, and the streets are like, the shots of the streets are beautiful, like, you know, they show the towering skyscrapers and everything, and
the glittering garbage bags.
It's quite literally like he just came.
The blistered homeless
that
man.
too. They definitely show those. But it's very literal in the sense that, like, he just came to America with nothing except for the clothes on his back, and now he has to figure out a way to get to LA from where he's at. And basically, long story short, he ends up doing some fights for this fucking Epstein fighting ring, and like, it's just these rich fucks who want to see guys brutalize each other.
Little St. James, Chris Tucker,
and Christopher Lambert, Chris Tucker in the
Bill
Epstein
Clinton
fights.
Epstein combat.
Epstein combat. Go.
What did they say instead of test your might? Do you think?
Yeah, I had something, but I didn't want to go there. But anyway, I'm trying to be quick with this. Lionheart. It was written by Sheldon Lettich and Van Damme, and it was directed by Sheldon Lettich, same guy who did Bloodsport. And if it's written by those two, you know it's going to be like Bloodsport. Just like how The Quest was like Bloodsport, but not anywhere in the same ballpark as good. But it literally had like some of the same exact motifs. Like, there are these two bumbling like French legionnaire guys that are trying to like go reclaim him and get him back, and like they even sit in for the final fight and even end up like rooting for him, which is like a less cartoonish version of Bloodsport, because they like really like fuck him up, like they really beat the shit out of him. But anyway, basically what he's trying to do here is his brother, basically he gets there, his brother is dead, and he's trying to like earn money to support his brother's wife and child, who are like, they're now saddled with all this medical debt, and like they're behind on rent, and they're gonna get kicked out, and it's all fucked up. And he's like,
I assume he fucks her at the end.
Not on screen. It's
But they kiss?
I mean, they're well on their way to fucking, like, let's just say that.
Ooh. That's a Old Testament
she
style.
kisses him on the, or wait, no, he kisses her on the cheek. Whatever. But anyway, it's like a solid movie. I want to say the best part of this movie is basically Jean-Claude Van Damme throughout the whole movie has this black sidekick guy played by
what? Oh,
played
you love to
by
see it.
Harrison Page, and he is like so good in this. He is just so energetic, and he's fucking just bringing it to every scene, and he's like legitimately fucking funny, and it's really. Go on.
I think my favorite black sidekick is like the black guy from Under Siege 2.
Under Siege 2.
Yeah, because he has like that. He has that little Big Trouble in Little China moment where he suddenly pulls off a feat of martial ability and kills a bad guy's girlfriend, who's like this assassin lady.
Oh man!
After spending the entire film bumbling
You got
and being black,
you gotta love it. But I mean, it's he's not so much like a sidekick as like he kind of like really shows himself to be like shrewd and like not just kind of not just like a token necessarily black guy, but he's still got they still kind of apply some of those stereotypes to him for sure. But it's really refreshing, I think, to see because he's like a character that's early in the movie and you don't expect him to stick around. You expect him just to be like a stepping stone to like the next, Van Damme's like next thing. And he just kind of sticks around and he ends up being like a really great character. And he's responsible for like most of the laughs in the movie. And he's just, I don't know, he was just fucking fantastic. Yeah, good for Mr. Harrison Page. Apparently he was more of a TV guy than a movie guy, so that's why I haven't seen more of him, but...
If only it was an atomic train.
Yeah. No, the atomic train is cursed. And lastly, I want to talk about Horse Girl, because...
Alright, let me sit down.
You were standing before?
I'm just leaning back in my chair now. I'm going to fall out in a few seconds.
I heard about this movie on Red Letter Media, like they reviewed it. I watched their like review of it, and I still didn't end up really getting what I expected out of this movie, but that's not a bad thing. I thought the movie was going to be like a bit wackier and like more humorous, I guess, but it was very kind of stark and like it's kind of like you just watch this person kind of lose their grip on reality, and instead like you think that sometimes even though that's inherently a dark concept, you think that there's ways you can portray that in a funny way, and like there's definitely moments like that in this movie, but that's not the prevailing like tone, I think. At least that's what I got of it. But
what do you think the tone is?
It's this kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I'm constantly saddled with this feeling about this movie that like either I wasn't like the perfect audience for it, or I had like a kind of a different reaction than maybe was intended or something. But the movie just made me profoundly sad. It's like,
I mean, it was about a horse girl.
It just made me so sad to watch, and I can totally appreciate if they were trying to give the viewer a more colorful, more varied array of responses to the movie, but what I got out of it was it just made me sad. And that's not to say that it's a bad movie. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was very effective at whatever it was doing. It just took me like a while to like recover from it. Like I literally I was gonna go take a nap anyway, but I really needed the nap after watching that movie, just so I could like decompress and like just kind of start the day back up with like a fresh slate after that. Yeah,
you need to start over.
It
would have been
honestly kind of would have been. But again, like it was a downer for me, but I think it was a quality movie. It was really like Alison Brie has a fucking fantastic.
Oh, that's the lady from Community.
Oh yeah, she was in Community.
Yes, the fatty natties. We try not to sexualize Annie.
She does a fantastic performance. She's very cute, but like that doesn't like dominate her in this movie. She like
the horse does.
It's like that one certain scene in Clerks 2 where they get the horse show, and just kidding. Actually, I think that's a donkey, but whatever. No, like
Ooh.
she's very cute in one way, but like very kind of like multifaceted in another. Like she basically, the range of emotions and situations that she portrays in this are actually kind of astounding now that I'm thinking back on it. Like just yeah, it's this movie, you know, what like people might think of it as having a reputation in some way, but I'm here to tell you it's more than just a meme. All right, that's my
Yeah, I thought it was a meme because all my Zoomer friends watched it.
It's easy to think
the
something's
same
a
time.
meme when a bunch of your friends kind of watch the same movie at the same time, and then they all have their, you know, they have all their like little pet hot takes about it and stuff, and it's like, well, that ends up kind of reducing it to something
Yes.
that it's.
Yeah, I prefer to consume my media 20 years after everyone
Me
else has
too.
already done so. So I don't have to worry about things like discourse.
I lovingly look back on the time when I went back and I played Drakengard 1, 3, Nier, before I played Nier Automata. I had to painfully explain to many people why I did it that way before just playing Automata. And I'm glad that I did that because Nier is a fucking masterpiece, and it feels like 80% of the people who have played Automata, actually, scratch that, 95% of the people who have played Automata have not played Nier. And
Okay, but can you fault them for wanting to see 2B's?
no, I cannot
badass?
fault anybody in the world for wanting to appreciate the beautiful body of a fine robot. But
You know, I read somewhere that their heat exhaust is in the pussy and asshole. And it's like 400 degrees Fahrenheit.
damn, need me one like that.
Yeah, I'm getting mixed signals from Yoko Taro. I don't know what he wants from us.
Yoko Taro has more cohesive ideas about women than Kojima ever fucking will. So I give him an
Or
eternal
Yushiki
pass on
Tomino.
that. But anyway,
Yeah.
we're like over time.
Oh yeah, nobody
Yes.
wants to hear any more of this.
Let us shut up forever. This
So I guess let's hit stop and let's go watch Thunderbolt
real
Gundam.
quick. Do you have a movie that you want to
Oh.
give me for homework for next week?
Oh yes, I did several weeks ago, but then I forgot. Fist of Legend, starring Jet Li
I'll say
from
that again.
1991.
You cut out. Oh, Fist of Legend.
Fist of
Okay.
Legend. Fist of Legend.
Fist of Legend.
That's my VTuber impression.
All right, I will watch that, and I will give you Natural Born Killers.
Another crime movie. Oh,
What?
all right. I should have given you Thunderbolt Gundam.
Well, I'm gonna
now
watch
I
that
think
anyway.
about it.
Well,
Yeah, let's watch it right now. Come on.
Not right now.
All right.
Well, that's the end of party night.
That's
Do we
the
stop?
end of.
That's the end of that chapter. I guess I'll hit stop. Chapter. Okay, I'm hitting stop now.